everybody.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
I am Janae Strother.
I'm Sean Spencer.
Back.
We are back.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen.
I gotta go out and hold up.
Come on. The line. Here. The line. New man losing so fine. Kirk Cousins.
All right. I am Janae Strother.
I'm Sean Spencer.
And this is Let's Talk Football.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy, Sean Spencer, one half of that dynamic duo that is Let's Talk Football. And ladies and gentlemen, oh, do I have a treat for you today. Ladies and gentlemen, I got some cool guys, man. I got some cool guys. My guy over here, you see him, Mr. David Wright, Mr. Dallas Cowboys. Even, man, I can't even believe it. And you see the Steelers here. I got Sidney Swinton, his guy. Ooh, I like that. Ladies and gentlemen, hey, fantasy football update. Gentlemen, how are we doing today?
I mean, I was doing better for you. Let's sit in here.
Good day. Any day I can ruin David's day is a good day.
Hey, there we go. Let's get it in. And yo, hey, ladies and gentlemen, you know me, and you might recognize Dave, but Dave, I want you to give you opportunity, man. Talk to him, man. Let him know a little bit about yourself. I know you're Dallas, but let him know, who you are.
Cowboys fan my whole life. Been playing fantasy for about 5-6 years now. Sean and I actually went to high school together, and then I kind of moved around the country, and we reconnected through the Let's Talk Football show. I saw him and Janae going live one day and got in there and started talking, and since then just kind of been riding with him on all these shows he's doing, and I put my 2 cents in there every now and then. But yeah, I'm just happy to be a part, man.
Yes, sir. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, the Let's Talk Football group on Facebook. Dave created that. The Pick'em League. Dave created that. He's the commissioner, the commish of the Let's Talk Football Fans League, doing it, vetoing trades and whatnot if necessary. You know what I mean? And I got to also introduce his main man. Hey, my newfound friend, the guy that went back and forth last year with them Steelers, and I appreciate it. I like that. Hey, Sid Swinton, man, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good, man. I'm glad to be on here. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Talk to him about yourself, man.
Yeah, man. Lifelong Steelers fan. Definitely. If you couldn't tell by all the memorabilia behind me, I've been in the game for a long time.
Yes, sir.
Met David about 8 years ago now, David, right?
Yeah.
That's how I got into this Let's Talk Football thing. I've been playing fantasy since, I want to say, the last 12 to 15-ish years.
Right.
Back when you had to buy a magazine and go to the live draft and cross players off during the draft. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, yes.
I've been a minute. So I know, I like to think I know a little bit. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Right. Is results oriented. Definitely. Hey, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, like I've been playing fantasy for I think a good, almost coming up on a decade. Definitely one of those. I play fantasy football like I play like the old grannies play bingo. I got like 6 or 7 little cards of teams. It's like, wait, let me check. Are we good? Yeah, we're good on that one. You know what I mean? I've been doing it. I absolutely love it. It's definitely my little piece away, and I had to do it for a couple years because there was a couple dark years in Washington. You see the hat. We're the only positives we have were fantasy. Couldn't say we won on the field. We could say we won in fantasy. There we go. But hey, look, ladies and gentlemen, let's definitely dive right into it, and we're going to talk first about the Let's Talk Football Fans League. Let me go pull that up real quick for you.
While Sean's doing that, I think Sid skipped over one of the most important facts about him. Sid, you're a married man now, right?
Ooh, that's right.
Congratulations.
So I mean, one would assume that your wife is she a Steelers fan?
Uh-oh.
Unfortunately, not.
No. Who's your team? Who's your team, buddy?
You want to see her little section of The Office?
Right.
Yes.
The small. I like that. Yes. I can dig it.
Yeah, unfortunately, she is a dang Cowboys fan, so I gotta live with that every day.
I feel for you, buddy. I feel for you. You know, I live with a Lions fan, so that's not as bad. You know, no matter how bad we're doing, we're always like, could be a Lions fan. So we're like, all right, we're good.
Lions fans know they're bad. Cowboys fans, for some reason, just think they're good. I don't know. I don't get it.
I don't get it right.
Hey, Jerry told me this is our year. All right.
Yeah.
Wow. Jerry said he'll do anything. Right. Jerry said he'll do anything for a trophy. That guy. All right, man. Let's go ahead and get on into the Let's Talk Football Fans League. Here we go. It's pretty nice race. I am number 2, Washington Double Deuces. The chosen one, Brandon, as my cousin, he's up there. Number 4, Mr. Unnecessary Deafness. How we feeling?
You know, I'm behind Sean, and that hurts. That hurts. But I will highlight the fact that the chosen one will be putting his belt on the line this week.
Ooh, okay.
He's playing me.
Like that.
And I'm ahead of Sid, though, so you know that means something to me.
Yep. It's early.
Yeah, it is early. You know, and again, Sid, you're comfortable there at 6, above or tied with your wife, Easy Mac. Shout out to Ash. Yeah. How was she feeling this weekend? I had to. That was a slight. I'll claim a W was a W, but it was a small margin.
She was very happy about 3/4 into that first game. She was feeling real good about herself, talking a lot of crap, thinking about going to win, and then not only in this league, but in the other 2 leagues, she hit a reverse and lost all 3. I believe is what happened.
Oh no!
It was a fun time to watch with her, but the Cowboys won, so that kind of made up for it for her.
Oh, well, there you go. See that logic? You lose fantasy, but the Cowboys, it doesn't work. The Cowboys, So definitely, we do have to mention, David. We do have to talk about these 2 folks in the bottom. I know it's early, but there are 2 guys at the very bottom that. Big Nick and my brother, who's a Giants fan. Yo, shout out to Washington. We beat the Giants. Let's get it. But what are you gonna talk to these guys? These guys, is it just a slow start or what's up?
Well, I definitely think I'm never counting Nick out. Nick's a smart guy. He knows the league. I think he'll be able to make some course corrections at some point. Bobby put a lot of faith in Tua.
Mm-hmm.
And can I just that matchup between me and Bobby this week was so much fun because the Dolphins were playing the Bills and I had the Bills defense and he started Tua.
Yeah.
And Tua scored less than a point because of my defense. And Bobby is the biggest Dolphins fan in the world. And so just the layers of irony and all that just made it such a wonderful win for me. He was talking a lot of smack before this matchup. I
did hear it. Let's actually go right to the game script. Here we go, right here. 131 to 126, and Tua .52. Wow. I see. Started Dak this week. Interesting. Good.
Go ahead.
No. I was saying good old Tua. Go ahead. You're good.
Who did you play this week, Sid?
I played Winning Ferg.
Ooh,
Sure who,
the clash of the Steelers fans.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he. I think my team had a pretty good day. One of the higher scores. Not. I think Sean's team has been kind of going
Sean
off.
Sean balled out.
We're feeling good. We're definitely feeling good. But I mean, mine this week wasn't that much higher than yours. But Ash, you were a valiant competitor. You did what you had to do. I'm not gonna lie, I was sweating. I didn't think I was gonna be able to get it in at all. But I got the W.
Point. That's crazy.
Yeah. Like literally 1 point above. Let's look at who's coming up. Let's look at who's coming up in this thing. Give me 1 second. Week 3, and I have to play that Steelers fan who's 0-2, but he is. I'm definitely worried because if Aaron Rodgers is playing up to par and Cook, yeah, he'll be all right. All right, team chosen one, the undefeated number 1 is playing unnecessary deafness. Dave, you're slated. You're projected to win right now. How you feeling?
I'm nervous. I went ahead and took Dak as my quarterback this year, and as we've seen, I think that's going to be a roller coaster. I think if Dak plays well, I think I take this. Aaron Jones is not putting up 4 touchdowns again, and Harris has been meh. I think he's going to be relying on Patrick Mahomes to carry him. I do think Tyler Lockett's going to ball out this week, though. So I'm a little nervous about that. And Mark Andrews has just been such a bust for me at tight end. I'm gonna take it, though.
I believe it. All right, we'll see. You'll see, man. As confident. And my Sid, you're playing the very last in the league. Nick Rosario. How you feeling about you guys?
It's the projections are within 0.3 points, so
right,
it's gonna be close as of right now, anyway. Lamar Jackson's got a very favorable matchup against the Lions, so his quarterback should have a nice day. Unfortunately, I'm hoping they blow him out by the second half, and he doesn't really have to play much in the second.
Yes, exactly.
That's kind of my only hope there. And Devontae Adams doesn't have a touchdown yet, so that's coming. So I'm nervous for that. His tight end, though, lost his quarterback, so I think I might be all right there. Depends if he wants to make a change. I guess right now it's 50-50, and he doesn't even have a kicker, so he'll definitely be projected to win. But I kind of like what I got going. I don't know if you guys saw. I made a little trade. It's currently pending.
Did the trade go through already?
Did it go through? Oh, we need to take a look at this.
Get in there. Okay. I actually have this highlighted that I wanted to talk about and get everybody in to veto this damn thing.
Yeah, because it's a good trade.
Let's go.
What's wrong with that trade, David? Let's get into it.
Let's talk to it. Let's go, Dave.
I just don't want you guys helping each other. That's my
It is between me and my wife, so I can see how you guys can think there's collusion. But
there's collusion, absolute collusion.
The thing is, aside from David, she is the number 1 person I want to beat in this league. So I promise I'm not trying to help her.
He has a point there. He has a point. Let's take a look. Here it is right here. T. Higgins and Robert Woods for Stephon Diggs?
She needs a lot of help at receiver because if you look at her team, she let me see. She's got Deontay Johnson, who's supposed to be out now. Devonta Parker, who just lost his quarterback. Brandon Ayuk, who has I think 3 points through the 2 weeks. Will Fuller, who hasn't played a game yet. Michael Gallup, who's on IR, and Paris Campbell, who is also out. So she is desperate for receivers now. So I gave her 2 starting caliber receivers. I feel like, top 30 fantasy receivers very easily, both of those guys. For her number 1 receiver, she had to give it up to get that, but I like my improvement as getting Diggs. I like my depth at receiver on my team, so I thought it was very fair trade for both sides, and yeah.
So basically, Sid's feasting on his wife's desperation and injury day. Good for you, Sid. Good for you.
Hey, remember when I said I want to beat her? So
there we go. Yo, got to shout out to people watching. Kellen Brown said, yo, the Bluetooth crew said in a 12-man 2-quarterback Superflex league, should I be aggressive or conservative with my weekly priority waiver claim? It's a thin waiver wire every week, so I've been aggressive. Your thoughts? Thanks. What do you think, guys?
I think in a 12-team 2-quarterback league, Superflex, you have to be super aggressive early on because all the free agents that are going to be breakouts, like for example, last year, James Robinson, Justin Herbert, they were really Antonio Gibson. They weren't really big in the draft, but blew up after the draft. If you didn't snag them in the first couple of weeks, you weren't finding guys like that. So you really need to build that roster in the first couple of weeks, especially in the 12-team Superflex 2-quarterback league where basically there's nobody on the waiver wire. You got to get lucky to find somebody on later on. So you got to go hard at the beginning to get anybody that fell through the cracks during the draft.
Yeah, absolutely. I like it. And we got Greg Crinchin is saying, need to fill my RB2, RB/wide receiver and flex spots. PPR, Devontae Smith at Dallas, Waddle, Pittman, Henderson, Jamal Williams, Pollard, Gaskin, or Mitchell. What do you guys think?
I'd stay away from Devontae. He's going up against
Dallas.
Trayvon Diggs, and he is looking really good for us. That's a divisional game, but I think that Devontae has a down week.
Yeah, from that list, I like Pittman a lot. I think he's their number one right now, so he should get a lot of targets. If Henderson's healthy, he should be a go. I'm not sure. I think he's on the injury report right now, so I'd watch out for him. And I like Gaskin a lot because I think Brissett's going to be dumping off short, and I think he's going to be the guy that just is a big PPR guy this week. Those would be my 3 of that list.
Love it. I love it.
See, Henderson scares me because even if he is healthy, they're going to get Sony Michel involved, and they're going to monitor his carries, even if he is healthy and ready to go. So I'm a little nervous on that one. I actually have him in one of the leagues.
Yeah. And I got one more for you guys. Kyler and Gaskin for DK and Mike Williams. Herbert is my backup. I ain't with it.
So read that again.
Kyla Murray and Gaskin for DK Metcalf and Mike Williams. And Herbert is my backup.
So I'll give you my 2 cents real quick. So I love doing the quarterback or receiver stack on your team. So having Herbert and Mike Williams, anytime they have a great game, you have a great game. Yep. The only thing is Kyler is insane right now. He's, on pace to be the number 1 quarterback in the league. And I don't think there's any downside to Gaskin currently. I think he's really going to be a really big PPR guy. So, unless you need a major upgrade at receiver, if your receivers are really weak, that's the only reason I could see making the trade. If you could trade Herbert and Gaskin, maybe that's worth it. But I don't think getting rid of Kyler for DK, essentially, I think is where you're really where this trade is. I don't think it's worth it.
No.
I don't see anything in there being worth Kyler Murray at the moment, but Kyler Murray was actually one of my preseason underperformers. He makes me very nervous. The way he plays, how reckless he is a huge injury risk. And if you've got Herbert sitting behind him, that's a pretty strong safety net right there. In case now, if you break that up and you get rid of one of those pieces, I don't know. I don't see any of the value for Kyler Murray being there.
Completely agree. I like that. I like what you're saying. All right. So let's move on. That's Let's Talk Football Fans League. And now I have had the honor and the privilege of being in the league of these two gentlemen, Jerry's World, the Swinton Wright League. I've been allowed to be in this one. Let's go ahead and share where we're at in this league right here. Oh,
hey, Sean, we're running short on time. Can we actually skip this league?
Right. I don't know what we're talking about.
See the highlight where David is on this one.
Let's wait a minute. What's going on down here, Dave? What would you like to discuss? What's going on, man?
All right. I was on the Joe Burrow train, and I mean, do I have to say anything else?
Wow. Yeah, let's look at your squad for a second. Let's try to help you. You need a makeover, man.
And while we do that, Sean was number 1. We give him props. He's currently first place. Myself,
he is killing.
Number 3. So David, 9 spots behind the two of us.
I mean,
like
that. It's week 2. It's week 2. All right.
What's going on, man?
And Kyle Pitts and Joe Burrow, they have really let me down over there this so far this season. I went ahead and got rid of Joe Burrow, brought in Derek Carr, and I'm hoping that he can give me some consistency at the quarterback position. And Pitts is getting there. I really thought he was going to come out and be a huge performer with Julio gone, and it just hasn't happened.
I see. Let's go look back at the scoreboard to see how it has played out.
Let's say I think I was up by like 19 points going into the Monday Night Football game, and I never even bothered checking the score because I got to give the man. Got to give the man his respect. Dalton really wanted to be around to see this show for the matchup that we just had. He was down by like 19 points going into the final game. He had Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Jones going up against me.
Oh man!
I never checked the score.
Yeah.
I never looked at this going into the Monday night game. I knew it was over, and it was not pretty.
Yeah, it's a bad week when David's kicker is one of his top performers. So
right. Oh man. I feel for you.
Yeah. So, how did you guys do over here in this league this week? Enough about me.
If you must know, David, me and Sean were the highest 2 scoring teams. Actually,
here we go.
Sean did run away with it, but I was the second highest scoring, right behind him. Not right behind him points wise, because he was miles ahead of me, just in rankings.
Here we go with me. I did drop the 187 on him. Forgive me for just a second. I'm trying to plug my computer in real quick.
Yeah, Sean got 189.7. He had Derrick Henry for 52, Kyler for 38, and Sutton for another 30. So those 3 players outscored David's whole team by 20.
Outscored my entire team. Yeah. God, that's felt
good. Yeah, Kyla Murray definitely showed up against David's better judgment, who told me he didn't think so. I'm glad he's been doing what he's been doing. And Derrick Henry, I have no words to speak on that. 237 total yards, 3 touchdowns. Come on now.
Yeah, he's insane.
So I'm definitely feeling good. And Sid, what's the name of your team in this league?
Make America Gronk again.
And I would like to get a quick spotlight in probably the 2 best names I've seen in fantasy this year. Go to Ash and Sid over in this league. I don't know what our parental advisories are on this show. I don't know what we can post around here, but
Yeah, Ashes is inappropriate but hilarious.
with Make America Gronk again. Here's what we got. Lamar always doing nice for you. Oh yeah, Deontay Johnson. Hey, that's a sleeper pick. I saw a lot of people picking him, and I don't know why I bypassed him. He's definitely solid.
He's a PPR machine. That's the problem. He gets 12 targets a game.
And T. Higgins gave you 16 points. I mean, so, Dave, looking at it, the trade doesn't look that bad. I mean, yeah, he might have capitalized on a situation, but I don't know, man.
Good, man. Those aren't.
No, I like I said, hey, nobody makes a trade they don't need to make, right?
Right.
So this trade will help both of them, so I vetoed it.
There it is. There is the power that he has.
Nowhere in the rules does it say that you can't that you need real statistical evidence to veto somebody's trade.
Just because I don't like you. Yo, Jaded Mercado is saying Marvin Jones Jr. or Julio.
This is a great question. I think at first glance, everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, it's Julio. Take Julio."
Oh.
But I think it's Marvin Jones Jr. I think he's the guy. I mean, he's Trevor Lawrence's favorite target.
Exactly.
They're gonna be behind a lot, and they're gonna throw it a lot. So I really think Marvin Jones till Julio really gets a good connection with Tannehill.
I like that.
And I mean, no matter what happens, I mean, you can be the top weapon over there, and you're still behind Derrick Henry. That team has an identity, and it's not passing the ball.
Yep.
And I think A.J. Brown is their number one receiver, honestly.
Yeah. Absolutely. So here we go. You got Tampa Jay's Buccaneers 144 to 117, and I mean it's looking pretty nice. I mean, Sid, I know you can understand this. It feels good being at the top, kind of looking down on all the rest of these little people. Sorry, we got to bypass you, Dave.
This league, it threw me the way it drafted threw me for such a loop, man. I mean, Sid had 3 players on his roster that I was taking in most of my mock drafts: Lamar Jackson, Zeke, and Deontay Johnson. I was winding up with those 3, and more often than not in my mocks. We come over here, I've got the 5th pick. I was all set to take Zeke. Didn't like the pick. But at the 5th pick, I thought that was my best shot, and Kamara's still available. And then my entire draft after that was just the picks you guys were making. I mean, I'm never doing another mock draft for the rest of my life.
And welcome to the show. Dalton Andrews has joined the show. Wow! And you know what? Let's go ahead and pull that one up.
Go away, Dalton.
Oh man.
Dalton, I think you had a pretty good game this week, right? Who'd you play?
Yeah.
Did you hit that?
Dalton, what was the score right before the last game? Like what? Woo!
It's all right. I'll take my weapons over here.
I think you came up short there, Dave.
We have a very different definition of little, apparently.
Mr. Rogers' neighborhood getting it done. And this. I mean, honestly, this could be a highlight, but then for you, Dave, it could be a low light. So I mean, we could.
Hell of a week, Dalton. Hell of a week. For anybody who doesn't know, Dalton actually won this league last year. Who came in second? Ash. Sid and I and Sean. We're not in the championship round. It went down.
I didn't even make it to the playoffs.
Playoffs?
Right. I got knocked out by you in the very last game to get into the playoffs. We had a long off season. Those guys had a lot of sprints. That's right. That's right. We were ready. Here we go. Dalton said, listen, I needed Jones, Rodgers and Jones with Ash was in second. Let's go. Let's get it. So look, we've seen our players. We've seen both sides, and it's crazy league. And again, it's only week two. But Dave, right now, everybody is flooding the waiver wire. Everybody's looking for who to get, who to look. What are you talking about? What did you do? And then said, I'll come to you.
Well, obviously we discussed my Joe Burrow problem already. So I went ahead and jumped on Derek Carr, and I brought in Sony Michel. Rondell Moore was definitely on my radar, but just the way my team is built, my running backs over there are making me a lot more nervous than my wide receivers are, and so I went ahead and went with Sony Michel to kind of give me a little depth. And I do believe Sydney picked up Rondell Moore, correct?
No, I did not.
No? Somebody did. He is gone in both of the leagues. In the Let's Talk Football League, he was actually drafted. I believe it was either Ferg or Nick, I believe, drafted him. So, I mean, that was really my waiver wires this week. So I'll kick it over to Sid.
Yeah, I was just trying to see who got Rondell Moore. Let's see. Trying to pull it up. Oh, it looks like Steven. Or are we talking about in Jerry's world? Steven got him. I'm not sure who got him.
In the football league, I went to look for him, but he was drafted.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, and then in this week, I got a defense. I think that was all I went for. I think the big players to look out for, though, were definitely Rondell Moore, Derek Carr, because nobody had Derek Carr, and he's been going crazy. I'm trying to think of the other ones that were pretty big this week. Let's see. No, there wasn't a lot of movement on the wire this week. It looks like I'm going through it, and there's really not a lot of players listed.
Which I thought was crazy because of the amount of injuries out there. You know, when I went to look at the recent activity to see what everybody was doing, I was kind of surprised. Not a lot of big names out there. I think me picking up Derek Carr, Steven picking up Rondell Moore was probably the only two moves of note outside of our good friend Bobby, who has put Tua out to pasture. And brought in Danny Dimes.
Look, hey, like I told somebody, if Danny Dimes is playing Washington every week, Danny Dimes is an MVP. He plays us great. He had 95 yards rushing and a touchdown, 230 some odd yards passing. He dominates us. And thank God there was some home cooking, and we got a penalty when I don't know if there was one, and we got the second kick. So, hey, I'll take it. I will definitely take it. But look, I'm going to throw some names out there that I see that are available, and I want you guys to let me know what you guys think. Corey Davis.
Corey Davis is not out there. Where? What?
Oh, where? And well, I'm looking in the fans league.
If he's out there, I'm going to pick him up right now. That's how I feel about
He's wavered. Okay.
I'm like,
you're right. I just noticed it. Tannehill's free.
That's how I feel about Corey Davis.
Yeah, right. Say, wait a minute. Let's see who we got. Laviscus Chenault's free. Oh, shoot.
I think he's hurt. I think he's hurt.
He's hurt.
That's why he might be free. That's why Marvin Jones Jr. is so high right now, because Chenault isn't. I don't think he's 100% right now.
So they're definitely. Go ahead.
Nope, you're good.
No, I was saying there's not as many, especially in the 12-man league, but I'm trying to look. else is on there? McKissick had a decent game. Maybe get into him.
Very poor week 1. He had like 1 point. Week 2, he had a really good game. I got Gibson, so I got Gibson in like 3 leagues, and he's been underwhelming so far.
Yeah, exactly. I don't believe he's cracked 100. He does enough, but I know in that first week he had 2 fumbles. One he got back, but he's had a couple drops. Devonta Parker. What do you guys think about him?
I don't trust anything over there right now.
Yeah, with Tua out, it's hard to pick a receiver, especially with, I think, Jalen Waddle being the number 1.
Right.
And now with Will Fuller back, he's going to take even more targets away from Devontae. So that's a desperate play, I think, right now, at least until Tua gets back.
Yeah. All right, we got SJ. He says Shepard. He's a Kenny Galladay, Shepard, Pittman, or Cornell Patterson in the flex for a PPR.
So I have Shepard in a couple leagues, and I like Shepard a lot. He seems to be a PPR monster right now, and Daniel Jones' favorite target. I mean, Kenny Galladay's there, but I think Shepard had twice as many targets as Kenny Galladay, if I'm remembering correctly. So Galladay will get the big plays anytime there's a big play, but how many times is Daniel Jones going to have a line that blocks long enough for him to get a big play? So those short, quick reads, those are all Shepard. So I think Shepard over Galladay until Galladay proves otherwise. Pittman is balling right now, but with Wentz not still up in the air, I don't know if he's going to be your guy. And I think, and then I think Cornell Patterson, although his numbers look great, he only had, I think, 11 touches. And from a running back, you want more than that. So, I mean, he'll have games where he gets 2 touchdowns on 11 touches, and his stats look great. But he's also going to have games like week 1 where he touches the ball 7 times and has like 14 yards. So the safest of those 4, I think, is Shepard, and I don't think it's close.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
Yep. Love it. So, also, let's go to this real quick. Who should I be adding? We already kind of touched on that, but who should, outside of people that are on IR, and ladies and gentlemen, if you do not know, you definitely go to the NFL page or whatever, refresh the IR list because guys are coming up left and right. So who should we be dropping though for their poor performance? Like, who did you guys drop?
So for me, I've dropped a couple running backs that I took late, hoping they would hit. Michael Carter from the Jets. I just don't think that line is going to be good for any running back all season, so I've kind of given up hope there. Trey Sermon and the Niners. Now they are looking for running backs desperately, but he's already hurt. And they took the 4th round running back that they drafted over him, so they don't like him for whatever reason that might be. Yeah. Those are the 2 that at least are on my teams that I've kind of given up hope early on. I could be wrong, but that's where I'm at right now for those.
Yeah, I definitely dropped Matt Ryan. I had him. I played him 1 week. Had him. Even though they don't win games. Normally, he's good for it. From what I've seen thus far, he wasn't working for me, and I needed it in one of my other leagues. But Dave, what do you got?
I mean, my big one was Joe Burrow. He definitely making life tough for me. And then Edward Solaire. To be honest, I'm really on the fence on that. I'm not quite ready to drop him yet, just because of how high I drafted him. But I just don't see that offense running through him at any point. I don't see him putting up the explosive numbers with the limited touches. There's so many mouths to feed over there. But what he was doing previously was taking advantage of every opportunity he had, and he's not really doing so this year, making me a little nervous.
Definitely, I think he's a bench for now for sure. I don't know if you can him yet, but I don't think you can start him at all anymore, which is unfortunate with how high you had to draft him.
Dalton said, "I am holding Jerry Judy," which begs the question: Who is it that you might have that? Like I had Fitz that was hurt early, and found out how long. I was like, all right, I'm done. But who do you have that maybe you would hold on to? If they got hurt. I mean, obviously we know the superstar guys, but is there anybody that you potentially have that might have been hurt recently that you would potentially hold on to?
I've got Jerry Judy.
Yeah.
He's not going anywhere. I will burn that spot until he comes back. I think he's a special player. And my other is Michael Thomas. I drafted Michael Thomas, and he's going to sit his butt right there on my bench until he comes on back. I think with the up and downs of Jameis Winston, and what a bust Marquez Callaway has been for me so far. I think when Michael Thomas comes back, Jameis Winston is going to be highly focused on him.
Yeah, speaking of going back to the drops now that you mentioned, I think Callaway's a drop, and I think Jameis Winston is a drop after this week because he looked great week 1, but I think the Packers basically handed him 5 touchdowns. He had 5 touchdowns, but he had like 100 yards. So it was all like super small, like he didn't have to throw long, and then obviously putting him in I guess it's hard to say because the Panthers defense I think is real. So they are ranked the number 1 defense right now, so he did struggle against them, but personally, I think there's a lot of quarterbacks out there that are just going to be way more consistent. Derek Carr, obviously, he's going off, and then Kirk Cousins. I think Kirk Cousins is a better everyday starter than Jameis Winston will be. Jameis will have the 5 touchdown games that Kirk won't, but Kirk's never going to have the 3-point games that Jameis just had.
Right. Yeah, right. Dalton said, "There's something about Alabama wide receivers." Yes, sir.
They just produce them there. I mean, if you think about the wide receiver room that was 4 years ago, it was a combination of Calvin Ridley, Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith, Henry Ruggs. Trying to think of all the other ones that were there. 4 years. It was just, a bunch of first round guys. Thing.
Yeah, every one of them. I'm looking at some of the people that are available, at least, and this is the fans league. Teddy Bridgewater, Sam Darnold, Garoppolo. Any of those guys, if you needed them, would you pick them up?
I think Bridgewater's a guy that you can start confidently.
Yeah,
he's
really nice.
After 2 weeks that he's going to get. He's not going to turn the ball over a ton, and he's going to get 200 yards and at least a touchdown, it seems, every week. So, if you just need a floor guy because the rest of your team is stacked and you just want 15 points, he's your guy. If you need to win a game and you need 30 points miraculous, he's not your guy. But he's out of those. I think that's the thing.
I actually considered Teddy. That ceiling is too low for what I need on my team. Exactly what Sid was just saying. The floor is really high. He's not going to have terrible games. He's too much of a game manager for that. But I needed more production.
Yeah. I can dig it. Let's see. I'm also going to throw out my guy. I'm gonna let you guys answer this because I don't need him, but if I did, I'd take him. Taylor Heineke. Hey, come on now.
You're the only one.
I think he's playing it. So here's the thing. I put him in the category of bad teams that are going to throw a lot, so you'll get garbage time points.
Yep.
So, and Washington's defense hasn't been Washington's defense yet. So if they keep giving up these points, Heineke's going to have to slang it. And he's got a stud in McLaurin. He's got a great tight end in Logan Thomas. I don't think he's a bad. I'd take him over who are the other ones there? Sam Darnold and Jimmy Garoppolo. I'd start Heineke over them.
I'd take it.
Cowherd actually had a really good point when he was talking about Baker and Mahomes in that game, that finish that they had. Yes, Heineke's going to have to throw the ball a lot. But when teams know that you have to throw the ball, how well do you perform? And I don't trust Heineke. Just because you have to throw the ball a lot does not mean you are going to connect with the ball a lot. And yeah, they got Scary Terry over there, but I do not trust anything with your football team.
Okay. Let me just start naming some of the people. Do I need to start naming them for you?
They can't run the ball with Swinton.
What? Gibson, McKissick? What? Come on now. We can get it done. And especially in the right circumstance. This weekend was not the best. The first week he got 90. Look, hey, I'm not gonna go off of my team right now.
When's Curtis Samuel back?
I believe he still has a couple more weeks. And I think that's going to be a huge part of our offense is needed because De'Ami Brown, our third-round pick, my guy out of North Carolina, he's been coming along a lot slower. Humphreys is decent. Adam Humphreys, we picked him up, but that was mainly for fit. So Taylor's trying to learn him. But you know, I think McKissick, like I said, McKissick had a good game. Gibson, has kind of been sleeping. I've been thinking about Taylor. I honestly did. And I'm glad I saw what he did this week. But going forward, I understand your point, Dave, though, because it's like, can it be consistent? You know, I mean, somebody did murmur that Taylor Heineke is similar to Dallas's Tony Romo. I'm not saying.
Oh, don't say that to David. Don't say that, David.
Okay, I'll tell you what, Sean. I'm gonna go pick up Taylor Heineke in both leagues.
Yeah.
And a straight up trade for Kyla Murray.
Because that's how high he has Romo.
Right.
Leave Romo out of this. All right.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's go. All right. So, hey, one last thing I want to say. Is there any hidden gems? Is there anybody that's so far down the list that you got to search for it, but it's like, pay attention. This guy might show up.
I got one. He's from my team, so look out for Pat Freiermuth. He is coming.
Penn State, baby. Let's go.
Very, very soon. And if you need a tight end, I'm telling you, my guy's 5 for 5 on catching the ball right now. Hasn't dropped a pass and is a blocking stud. Much better than Ebron in both categories.
Yeah.
Look for him to be coming up quick.
I like that.
I like
Dave, what you got, man?
Honestly, I didn't really have any deep dives into. I mean, we're in a 12-man league. Pretty much everybody I was interested in is kind of on the radar already and or rostered. No hidden gems for you.
My hidden gem, Taylor Heineke. He's gonna get it done. Let's go.
I almost said that just to make fun of you, and then this guy comes out and actually.
I'm taking it. Oh yeah, right. I am taking it. And just like the rest of the Dallas Cowboys, they're out the picture. Yo. Let's go. Dave, where you at, man?
Take it back, or I'm not coming back.
Come on, man. I wanted to take Dak. If it makes you feel better, I thought about taking Dak. Listen. Yo, ladies and gentlemen, this has been fun. Sid, if you're available, you definitely need to join us because anytime we can team up on this guy, I'm with it. After having to deal with him and Janae come at me about Dallas,
I got it at home. That's
fair. That is fair. We do beat up on Sean a lot.
Yo, so hey. Definitely, get back with us. We will definitely be doing this again next week and week after week, monitoring the both leagues, the trades, draft, the insight, this and that. And hey, look, pay attention, guys. We're all three of us very seasoned fantasy football players, and some of us are very cutthroat, especially when their managers are their commish. But But it's all good. It's all good in love and fantasy. Hey, so good. Hey, for me, Sean Spencer, my guy, Mr. David Wright, and our guy right down there, Mr. Sidney Swinton, baby. Hey, so good seeing you guys.